thing since it's the first time. I was wondering what to do when you are such an expert, Nandini. I'm very impressed.
Hello.
Technology at our times when we never knew anything about internet or anything. We've not grown up on it.
Seriously. But you know, the first person I ever interviewed was Soni Razdan. Because
Okay.
we were in school together. She's my BFF since then.
Huh.
And it was so strange because we'd never done it before. So we did a test one. And then I didn't know when to end it. I was so serious. It was quite
Right.
crazy.
But that's the fun part, right? Anything that you do first time and then you make all kinds of goof ups.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
is fun. This reminds me of my time on stage because it was live
Yeah.
and there is no second take.
No. Yeah. Where are you? Oh, you've gone off, Gayatri. I'm good. Maybe our internet is not. So I think I'll have to go off and come back again. Hi. Okay, Gayatri just request to join again, sweetie. What happened? Okay, I've invited you. You can come on now. I've invited you. Come. Yeah. Don't worry.
That is what I was talking about goof ups and this happened.
Just don't worry. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maximum, if there are too many of these, I'll download it and then cut that off. But don't worry. It's fine.
Of course, of course. So, Nandini,
Yes.
how long? I think when we chatted last, it was 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4
And
years
otherwise,
ago.
on and off, we've been in touch on Facebook or on the phone.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And 2020, you had started this series on Cope with Hope, right?
Yes.
So, okay, before we go all the time backwards, tell me about your experience from that. How were people dealing, and how were you dealing with the lockdown time?
So
What was happening?
Cope with Hope, the Cope with Hope started because all my life I've wanted to help and serve people, and that's
Yeah,
how I became an art of living teacher and a mentor and a coach. So Cope with Hope
right,
started because I wanted to do something for people, and I didn't have the finances to actually give a lot of charity. So
right,
I did whatever I could to, but I said, what else can I do? And in a meditation, I saw, let me ask people, you know, and I learned on the job. I had no clue how to do any of it. I learned on the job, and I used to get nervous asking people, but I did ask them. I asked people how they're coping during the lockdown and what skills are they using to go through it. And people
right.
had wonderful things to say. My lawyer friend actually used to clean his carpets.
Yeah.
And I had great fun doing it. I just love people and I want to connect with them in any way and know them in any way I can and help them in any way I can.
Okay. And how many people did you talk to at that time?
I think I have about 400 interviews. I
Okay.
started on April 25th, 2020,
Uh,
and I went on till sometime 21, 22.
okay. So that means quite a long time.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Or
Okay.
21. I think till
Yeah.
21 sometime.
Right. And I know I saw that you had actually started sending out these meditation videos, a 1 minute thing. I
Yes.
used to, come on, I used to join you sometimes in those meditations, and those were really lovely and very calming.
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell us a little about, first of all, meditation itself. What do you interpret meditation as?
So when I was 5 years old, I had my first very mystical experience where I just felt everything melt around me and I had a very deep experience. And I just went into sort of like a witness mode, that Sakshi Bhav. There was this me and there was this other person watching everything that was happening.
The
And I found
witnessing.
that like a vipassana, like
Okay.
this basic, a witness, like mindfulness and witness.
Right.
And after that, uh, I started searching and seeking. I lived life also. Like I was a model. I had, I went out. I
Yeah.
had my boyfriends, all that. But I was always seeking for something, and
You mean at
eventually,
right from a young age?
from a very young age, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And my parents always encouraged us to think in a different way with a broader mind,
Right.
and it led me eventually to Vipassana, and I've been doing Vipassana now, I think, I don't know, for 40 years.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I believe that is the most difficult thing to do in meditation. So let's go back to your journey as that supermodel of the 80s, and the beautiful cherry blossom girl. I remember seeing your face in Femina, and those glamorous times. What were you like, and what was it that you said that you were seeking at that time? How old was that Nandini?
I was 16 when I started modeling. In those days, ICSC,
Yeah,
then you had about a couple of months to study.
yeah.
And my parents used to take us to the beach every weekend because my grandfather was in the central, he was in the government basically, and nobody used to use that beach house. Indians didn't go to the beach to get black and whatever, but we were
Okay.
strange Indians, so we would go every
Yeah.
weekend. We'd go. Okay, it was like
Huh.
our home because no one else used it. And when I was at the beach, I met somebody who was a model coordinator, and she asked my mom. She said, "Will she model?" And my mother said,
Okay.
"Okay." So my mother used to take me, and I started modeling. And
Okay.
I was a baby of the bunch. Like I was Salomi's baby. Even now in Salomi series, Salomi Roy Kapoor, she'll pinch my cheeks and she'll start crying and hug me. Or like Zeenat will come to me and she'll say, "You're so cute." Like that. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And those cheeks are really the same, it's nice, cute. I
and I
mean, who
was
would say
very,
that? I mean, so many years have passed, Nandini.
so I had
Yeah,
a lot of fun because for me it was like being on holiday with so many people, and I
right.
never took it. I never took like things very serious. Like, oh, I'm so gorgeous, and not seriously. It was okay. My house now, people
Yeah,
kept me very down to earth.
right.
It was more. There were other things that were important, so that helped a lot. My parents were like very cool and chilled, and we were taught to read and we were taught to explore different things. So yeah, great, you're nice looking, but that wasn't the be all and end all of life.
What was Nandini like as a person at that time? You know, like every youngster or a 19 or a 20-year-old or 18-year-old, some of them are, some people are uh, shy and introverted, and some, because you've had plenty of attention in the modeling business, and maybe from, I'm sure, many boyfriends, and I'm sure you broke many hearts. What were you like as a person at that time?
Even my heart was broken, okay? Uh, but when you're young, everything is so dramatic. Your heart is always
Yes.
breaking and your heart isn't getting fixed. Oh, I was very naughty.
Yeah.
I was very naughty. I just,
Okay.
my mind just always has a comedy going on in my mind. I don't know why. पहले से बचपन
Huh.
से I always have some sort of comic thing going on here.
Huh.
So I think I'm chilled. I love to laugh. I was quick tempered also. Now
Okay.
I'm not anymore.
Uh-huh.
And I just felt so blessed because I what a fantastic and I knew nothing about money. A very bad relationship with money
Okay.
I had. But
Okay.
but but my parents were just simple people. They were not greedy people. It was just Geo, like my father and mother taught us to be good human beings. कि नियत अच्छी होनी चाहिए. The intention of your life should be something that's beautiful. So from a very early age, I wanted to help people. I wanted to love people. And yes, I modeled. And of course, we were like puppies. Then the younger lot also came in. We used to fight. We used to laugh. We used to make up. Then again we'd fight. Then again we'd make up. We were together all the time. We were
Okay.
together all the time. We used to travel
Right.
together, you
Right.
know.
Right.
So
Of course. Of
it was
course.
awesome. It was like being in a college campus for me all the time. I loved my modeling days, and some
Yeah.
of the
How long did that time last, Nandini?
for ages. So I was 16 when I started, and I think till my till a little bit after I had, so like mid 30s, I modeled.
Okay. Okay. And who were your co, not co-actors, but your friends in
Colleagues,
the modeling business who are still friends today?
Charmila Khanna,
Yeah.
Erica, Erica
Okay.
D'Souza, Anna
Okay.
Bredmeyer,
I remember
Sangeeta,
Anna Bradman.
Sangeeta Bijlani, Kimi,
Ah,
Kat,
right.
Kimi Katkar,
Right.
Tina, Sony's sister Tina,
Okay.
Desiree, uh, then the younger lot, there was Suzanne and Colleen and Bev, uh, Lasel, Salim, Zafar Larji, uh, who else? Dalip Tahil, but he was earlier, Deepak Parashar,
Okay.
Reina
Okay.
McKim, and then the older ones, there was Salome, Sheila Jones, Rosita, Asghar Ali,
That's a
Zita,
lot of names. These are a lot of names. So
yeah,
tell me,
Karen
so during those
Linnell.
modeling days,
Remember the little ad Karen Linnell?
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Veena Prakash, Aarti
Uh-huh.
Gupta,
Uh-huh.
Veena Prakash,
Okay.
Vanessa. Sorry if anybody have missed out, please forgive me. I'm really sorry. I don't want to miss you
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So during those
We still meet,
times when,
by the way, we still meet.
yeah,
We still meet.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure there's plenty to share and talk about and relive.
Suzanne has the most amazing story. She keeps us in
Okay.
splits. Just she always keeps us in splits. We meet, it's like that. It's only fun. It's very sweet. It's very sweet.
Okay. So tell me about your venture into. You said that you have been a life enhancement coach for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
So while you were modeling, I know that you had joined Art of Living, but before that, I mean, which year did you join Art of Living? And before that, what were your spiritual inclinations like? Uh,
So
at that time.
I'm just thinking in 1992, I did
Yeah.
Vipassana and I became a yoga teacher. I should teach exercise at Talwarkers. I taught the first step class ever. And I became a Reiki master. That's how it started. And then in 98, I became a teacher. Or 99, we became teachers, Ria and me. And then I was with the Art of Living for 12 years. And
So
uh,
before you joined Art of Living,
I was Reiki. I
yes,
did. So I was doing that. I was doing
yes,
Reiki, I was doing yoga,
yes,
I was teaching. It started there already. And I went for Vipassana. And people used to come to my house and I used to meditate with them. I didn't charge or anything, but they used to come to my house and I would with them. I taught children yoga and a little bit of breathing techniques because, very young children can't meditate.
yeah,
So I did courses for children. I had people come over and meditate with me. I taught yoga. I taught yoga to kids. I taught in my son's school. I taught in my daughter's school. Anything to help another.
yes, yes. But
Yeah.
tell me, what made you venture into a deeper kind of meditation like a Vipassana or a Art of Living? Was there an episode in life where you started seeking more answers and you felt that, this is where you might find some peace? Were you going through something at that time?
Uh, I just, as far as Vipassana and art of living are concerned, I just always wanted to teach people something to enhance their. That's how enhancement came. I always wanted to teach people something to enhance their lives in any way, because I knew there was more to life than just this. रोज सुबह उठो, breakfast खाओ, काम पे जाओ, वापस आओ, खाना खाओ, सो जाओ. Were we meant to just do that? Were we meant to come to this planet, wake up, do this 9 to 5, pay our bills and die? Khatam kahani. No, I thought we were meant to do so much more. We meant to go so much deeper. पहले से ये सोच पहले से था that I wanted to do something deeper, and how can I help people to find that other meaning in life. Okay, so when I was modeling, अपने आप से, after that mystical experience, what would happen to me is, just say I'm going in a car somewhere, and then suddenly I'd get this inner calling that this isn't the be all and end all, there's more. Or so I'd be in a fashion show and then people coming up to me and saying, God, you're so beautiful. God, marry me. And I would be looking, and there's some voice in my head saying, there's more to life than this. Just know that. This is not the be all and end all. So that constant thought was always there. And when I went for Vipassana, a friend of mine, Mala, took me. She just felt I was so ready. And she first took me to her mentor, and he taught me a little bit to meditate. And then we went for Vipassana. And I just felt so amazingly amazed. I felt such a deep connection with God, like such a
Yeah,
deep connection with God. So, like,
yeah.
pehle se when I was 5 years old, my mummy taught me the Gayatri Mantra. When I was 8 years old, my grandmother, paternal grandmother, introduced me to Jesus. Until today, Jesus is my best friend, I want to tell you. Till
Okay.
today. Till today. I have anything, I'll ask. I'll get an answer. Anytime I'm
Right.
in trouble, I'll get an answer from him. It's very
Wow.
sweet relationship.
I see. So talking of
It's
relationships,
obviously very personal, guys. Okay, I'm just telling you all my secrets, but it's just a personal thing that's happened to me in my life. So
yeah,
so
Nandini.
that's what
So,
that sweetness, that mithas of a sweet loving relationship. I wanted to just give that out, but there was life happening, and I've made many mistakes, and I wasn't this pure sant at all. So let's get that clear.
right.
But the intrinsic part of me was always that. I always wanted to offer something that would be special for somebody.
Yeah, yeah. But what kind of shift do you think you experience? I believe there's a big shift that happens when you are part of a Vipassana 10-day journey, and you've been there for 12 years in Art of Living. What was that major shift that you sensed in yourself from Nandini, the fun-loving person? I'm sure you're still fun-loving, but still, I mean, and with age we all evolve and grow. But how would you describe your evolvement that might be different from a organic growth with age?
So I found after I did Vipassana, that I committed myself to meditating thrice a day for one hour. 4 baje subah se. But in the morning, sometimes I'd meditate till 6. Morning, sometimes even 3 hours. I'd just get lost. But I'd made a commitment that for 1 year I'd do that. So that was my base. So once that base up today, I do not meditate that many times or those many hours. But because that was my base and it became such a like part of my skin, that anytime you tell me to just sit quietly and connect to God, connect to my altar, I can create that space inside me anyway. Because of that
Okay.
initial commitment.
So, whenever you're going through some kind of a stress, let's say let's say a normal traffic stress, right? And sometimes, and if you've had a really really bad day, and it might come out on the traffic or somebody else, and how do you bring yourself back to the present and calm yourself down?
So with the breath or with body awareness. Or just yell and take it out of your system.
Always the best.
No, no, no.
Always the best way.
But mainly it's just be aware of the breath.
Yeah.
Mainly, I'm a breath girl. More than body awareness, also the breath. Just give me the breath and I'm in heaven. I just love the breath and breath work. I can't tell you how much. I just love it. Every day I thank God for allowing me these teachings.
So we'll come back to the kind of tools that you use.
Yes,
But let's talk about, I've been watching your videos of late. You've been talking about a certain dark phase that you've been.
yes,
Um, are you okay with talking about that right now?
absolutely.
Yeah. How are you
Yeah.
now?
So I'm flying now.
Right now,
I'm
you're
just,
fine.
I think I'm in the best place that I've ever been in now in my life.
Okay.
I
I'm
don't
glad.
think I'm in a better place than I've been in now.
Wow.
And
Wow.
right out here, I wanted to actually say this when we first started, but I want to say it right now.
Yeah.
My people, and you know who you are. All of you know who you are. My people have, my friends were like fierce warriors around me. The way they loved me, the way they protected me, my sister, my son, the way they've held me and protected me, and my daughter-in-law and others, like so many. Sorry, I don't want to name everybody because I don't want anyone to feel left out. But I will name one person, and that is Sony and her family. The way they have held me through it, I cannot tell you. And shaken me, and Firoza and her children, Firoza, Ellen Keki. They've shaken me when I've gone wrong. That was Sharmila. And they've held me close to their hearts when I needed love. But most important of all, it was God and my spiritual mentor who actually helped me a lot. But the point is, and then recently I met two girls, and that's why I'm here on Instagram. But the whole point is that even God can give you a cup of tea, but guess who has to drink it? You. So the work you have to always do. Like they were all there, but काम मैंने किया.
Of course. Of
So what
course.
happened? The phase was terrible because in 2020, because of some personal circumstances and some idiotic decisions that I made, uh, I lost my life, I lost my home, I lost everything. I lost my Bombay, and Bombay is my city, and I lost my friends. And when I say I lost my friends, matlab they were in another city और मैं कहाँ और थी. So I couldn't just say, let's go for a coffee. Let's go for a quick weekend trip somewhere. I'm not there on their birthdays, they're not here on mine. I miss all the occasions. And it was very difficult to restart. And the whole situation was terrible. And I think I just froze and I went into a very bad downward spiral.
So tell me a little more about that phase. What was going on? In the circumstances exactly. Okay, you had to move cities. You had, if you want to share, how and why did you have to move?
There was a
And
breakdown in a very, in a primary personal relationship, and not a very nice breakdown. And
okay,
like it was just like the door was just shut on me, and that made it very difficult because I got stuck in the story, and that's why I tell people, I really gave up my story. I got stuck in the story, and on self-blame, on self-shame, on self-guilt. I kept bashing myself up. I couldn't come out of it. Like I just kept spiraling.
yes,
No matter
yeah.
what, I would bash myself. I would,
So what
you know,
exactly what that while you were bashing yourself, Nandini?
because I said that as something I've done. There's something I've done. There's
Yes,
something
yes.
I've done.
So when you were blaming yourself, and when you were going through this spiraling downwards, I mean, what exactly was happening to you physically and mentally?
I would have constant panic attacks.
Okay.
I couldn't breathe, and that's how I did the 5 4 3 2 1, which I've told people about, and
Yeah.
belly breathing. I did
Yeah, we
belly
will come to
breathing.
that.
So
Uh,
I get panic attacks. I would wake up in the night with sweating and weeping the whole night. I couldn't come out of I didn't know how to pull myself out of my misery, and I kept saying this sentence: I hate my life. I hate my life. I hate my life. It just no matter what. I just go on saying these. These are the main things that happen. There were other things also, but these I can say were the main things. I felt very ungrateful for everything. I lost my gratitude. Gayatri, I realized when I'm talking to you, I lost my
yes.
gratitude. And,
Yes.
and gratitude has always helped me. And no matter
But
what,
but Nandini, don't you think when one is going through a traumatic time, it's really challenging and difficult to think of any kind of thing that makes you feel grateful or have gratitude, isn't it?
but I'm just telling you what happened to a very important quality that I've always had. I wasn't able to be grateful. I was only able to be ungrateful and unhappy, and and I just could not pull myself out of it no matter what I did, and no matter what my relationship with God, my relationship with anything. As I said, the pani you have to drink then. No? You can take a horse to the water, but and the worst is that I still was coming to Bombay for work, and uh, I did Siddharth Shukla's last show, Broken but Beautiful, and then he passed away. So that's my work just stopped. And because I was in such a space, how can I teach anybody? What can I teach somebody? I hate my life.
Right.
That work stopped. Cope with hope. Hope. I had no hope. How can I do cope with hope? And my son, how much he told me, Mama do, Mama get this mic, get that mic. My sweet sister got those mics for me. I just look at the equipment and cry. I couldn't, who can I call and say, talk to me about hope? I would have
Right.
wept calling. So I was in that state, for
Okay. And how long did that stage last, Nandini?
uh, on and off, on and off, on and off, till the 7th of September 2022.
Okay. That was long. That was long.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then
So,
I don't know what happened on that
yeah.
very day when I was meditating.
Yeah.
I was given this, remember so and so, a client of mine. And I remembered, and that client used all the words that I use. I said, wow. And then I remembered the program I'd done with her, and I replicated it, but I tweaked it for myself. Like I tweaked it also.
Right. Right.
And I
So,
worked hard on myself on that.
yes, of
I,
course.
I was still going back 2 steps, coming back 4 steps. I was very strict with myself. I kept firm rules because I knew otherwise I'd go haywire again. And Sony really helped me at that time because she would keep taking me to Bombay and pamper me. And
Okay.
so did her husband, so did her dad. Shaheen that December looked at me and she said, Nandini auntie, I want you to understand that you're the victim. And that created a huge shift. And,
Right.
and then one day I just gave up that story. I
Right.
gave
Right.
up the story. I gave up thinking about it. I'm not the victim. I'm the victim. I'm the this. I'm the that. They are the this. This is that. I just gave up that story and I said, that's it. I'm not in that story anymore. I'm going to just be in my sweet life. And
Right.
then I met these two girls who going to look for a job for me. And one of them said, what do you want to do? And Kim. And I told Kim, I just want to love people. And she said, fine, then love them. How will you do that? And so we worked out that, okay, fine, on Instagram, I will offer everything that I use to heal myself. Yeah, all like the walking, the exercise, the meditation, the breath work, the talks. And like I did one talk on choose yourself over grief and sorrow. And then I found, that's a thing. Or, like spotlight something new. Take yourself out of the grief and spotlight something new. And, Kati, many people say, oh, that means you're suppressing what happened. No. It's like,
Right.
it's like you want to lose weight but you eat a lot of cake.
Right.
It's only when you give up that cake that you can lose weight. You're not saying you didn't eat cake. You're just saying that I'm now not eating cake.
Yes.
I'm now not entangling with that story anymore.
Right, right. So
I've got a
going
new
back to
story.
this, for the benefit of our.
Am I shouting? Am I shouting?
No, I think you're sounding fine. I think I might be shouting because I'm not sure whether
No, I
it's
think
audible.
sometimes I'm shouting. I'm getting so excited
No, no,
about
no, no, no.
everything.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Um, for the benefit of our listeners, let's describe, define what you mean by story. You and I know what we mean by our story does not define us and what is our story. So let's clarify that.
So
So
we
go
in
ahead.
the past is our story. Whatever's happened in your past is your story. And most of us cling to the negative parts of our past.
Right.
And that's the story. Is that happening to me now? No. Is that whole thing happening now? No. I live in a beautiful home. I have a lovely life. I have a lovely walking path. I have amazing connects over here. I've started something new. I don't have time to think. That's not my story anymore. I have a new story. I have a new in this now moment, there is joy and there is peace and there's love and there's happiness. I'm not that, and that's not my life no more.
Right. So you were actually, when you were feeling low, you were defining yourself by the circumstances that you were going
Yeah.
through. So, for example, let's say somebody has cancer and it's the current time. Okay, it is happening now. Let's say tomorrow she's healed, but for tomorrow she might say that I have had cancer, but that is tomorrow, right? But today, when she's going through such a tough time and a painful time, what would you advise? How to deal with this?
Okay, so I had cancer. So I know what you're talking about. I had cancer, and
Okay.
I chose at that time that, okay, God, here's the deal. Just show me all the proactive things that I can do from my side. Then I leave the rest to you. So one was, don't keep talking about cancer. For me, okay, I'm talking about this is personal for
Yes.
me, like what I
Yes.
did. I didn't
Yeah.
keep talking about cancer. Secondly, I upped all my breath work.
Right.
All my breath work, like breath work techniques, there are wonderful techniques. My page is full of them. And I used to do this belly breathing, I find is wonderful. I should just listen to music that I liked and I would do belly breathing for hours. I upped my breathing. I ate very, very not tasty, very healthy food that I like. Like I used to have a protein, and I used to have beetroot, and I used to have broccoli and something that I liked, or I'd have dal chawal and a sabzi that I liked. I ate very healthy all the time. I made sure the doctor told me don't make sure you don't put on too much weight because sometimes if you feel very low with it, you would. I didn't talk much about like when I felt low. I just stayed with very quiet time. I didn't meet too many people. Anyway, you can't. But I kept my mind and I watched lots of comedy. A lot of comedy.
Okay.
So it's not that I wasn't addressing it, I was addressing it proactively. I and I mean I'm not a, I don't have a fatalistic attitude, but I just think that God is there and anything can happen to anybody at any time.
Right.
So if I'm meant to live on this planet, I live on this planet.
Yeah. So, but I mean, cancer must have been a really, really tough period, and that happened before this current traumatic dark phase that you went through. And before
Yeah.
that, also, Nandini, you've been through a few personal challenges yourself. Um, so every time, but you have come out and you've come out stronger, right?
Yes.
Um, uh, so
You
what?
know,
Yeah.
Babika Dhurve, she's a palmist. She was in last time's Big Boss, OTT.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she read my palm and she says, you gotta, she says, you step back. And that's what I do. I go into like witness mode. It's
Right.
Vipassana that's helped me. I'll
Yeah.
immediately go into witness mode.
Okay.
And that just helps me go through anything.
I see.
Yeah.
So, okay.
This is the
So once,
first time that it didn't work, okay? It took
yeah,
2 years.
yeah, of course, because it must have been really a painful time.
Yeah.
So even if you were applying everything that you had learned about
That,
spirituality, nothing worked, right?
nothing
And
worked.
which is why you are here to share with us that nothing worked, and yet today, here you are, and
Yeah.
you are saying this is the best stage of your life, and you are, I assume, happy.
Yes.
um, First of all, there are so many books and so many to do things, okay, to be happy. Do you really think there is any such thing such as happiness?
I don't know about that, but all I know is that I wake up every morning feeling bright eyed and bushy tailed. My heart feels all really good and soft and wonderful. And I say, okay, now what am I going to do today? What can I do today with a smile on my face? That must be happy.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't
So the next
wake up
thing and
like
the
that for
next
those
thing.
2 years.
So let's talk about all the tools that you used during that period, and now what is it that you teach?
So what I teach on Mondays, I do a move with me. So I use all what I did at that time. I walked, I stretched, I did light exercises, and I do that on a Monday. However, at that particular time, I walked thrice a day. I walked and I walked and I walked and I walked. Anytime I felt little bit something, I'd go for a walk. Our building is lovely because you can beat the sun on that side sometimes, or on this side sometimes, or at the back, or I'll walk at home. I just walk.
Nandini, sorry for interrupting.
No,
So when you're walking, basically, from what I've gathered, it's the physical movement which is required, right? If you sit still and you just, dwell over things, one kind of slumps into a depression
yes,
slowly and gradually, right? So to snap out of it, ideally one has to shift positions or go for walks,
yes,
move, exercise, right?
yes, yes.
So when you're walking and if you're alone, the thoughts don't stop. So if they are negative thoughts, they don't stop. So what do you do about that?
Well, when I walk, I don't think. Again, I walked on that long ago. I don't think of anything. I just listen to music if I feel like, or I listen to a talk, or I'll just connect with the sky and the green. I just learned how to do that. That's an old pattern of mine. I just
Right.
connect with nature, I'm not thinking that. If I tell myself you're not going to think, I listen to
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So one of the things you did was walk. And what else? I mean, in terms of teaching your clients and
Yeah.
in terms of coaching and helping them, what exactly do you do?
So when a client comes to me now, I
Yeah.
first have a half an hour free session where we discuss and I give some questions to them. So in the beginning, I'll say, "What do you want?" They send me what they want. So I curate even that questionnaire. I curate per client, and I'll give it to them. We go back and forth, and then I curate a special program for each person individually. If it's a group, then I say this is a group thing for these many days and we're doing this. I
Right.
decide policy. But then if it's a client, I'll tell them, and then at that time I say, I think maybe you need 3 sessions, but you decide. If you feel good after one, we can let it be. It'll be like that. Some people, they definitely need 5 sessions. Some people need to work a little longer. My main aim is not to keep that person coming to me. My main aim is for them to learn the tools themselves and then apply it in their lives and, like be free of this and continue. That's why I do not understand the therapy which keeps people prisoner for years.
So how would you define your work as different from formal psychological therapy?
I really don't know. I mean, I've done a counseling course and many other courses. I really couldn't tell how it is different, but I want to tell you one thing. At this time, I myself joined a Facebook group where the main person is a therapist and a psychologist, and it was wonderful talking to everybody. But again, it was a lot like what I do. It was again curated for the questions that were needed for this group. So I don't know about other type of work that is done.
Okay,
All
okay.
I
So
know is that this is what I've seen and this is what I've worked with when I've gone
right,
to a therapist.
right, right. So tell me your views on mental health and why do people neglect mental health so much? And what are the challenges that you come across? Are they very resistant to the help that you are giving them? And how do you help them break that barrier in themselves?
I want to tell you one simple thing. When I did courses in my home and invited people, I will never forget. I'd gone for a course to teach a course. Then after that, outside Priyadarshini Park, a one of my in-laws came to my house and asked the maid, कहाँ गई नंदिनी? अच्छा वो दिमाग ठीक करने के लिए वो गई है उधर. मतलब I had gone to the course to that. So that's the approach of many people. Okay? It's
Yes.
taboo and it's something to be laughed at because you can't settle your own mind. You're
Right.
really free. So there's a lot of taboo around mental health. Many people have come to me, even when I taught the art of living, and they couldn't afford therapy. And I have helped people because I can't bear to see somebody in pain. And they didn't want anyone to know that they were coming to work with me. Yeah, so there's a big taboo. Many people don't have the money. Like I myself, I thought of going, like a good therapist costs a lot of money.
Yes.
No, it's like
Yes.
it's expensive. Everybody doesn't have it, and having said what I said, but I know that there are people who need constant therapy. There are people who need continuous therapy also, not just one way. So what
Right.
I teach, I want them to move on. But I know that some people need a different kind of therapy, and they need a constant one to keep themselves in balance. I don't diss that either. I'm just talking about what I do.
Right, right,
So
right.
I don't
So
want to
when do
diss
you feel,
anybody's way because
yeah,
I respect everybody's way and I really respect mental health and sorting yourself out. It takes a lot of courage to go and tell somebody, I'm not okay, help me.
what is that warning sign or the wake up call that, let's say, I don't know, I may be feeling disturbed, but I don't know that it's connected to something where I should seek help. What are those signs when I know, okay, I should seek help and I should come to you?
So there's a couple of things. Saying sorry all the time. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. One, feeling lonely, feeling helpless, feeling hopeless, not being able to get out of bed in the morning, feeling unseen. I felt so unseen, I can't. Feeling unseen, blaming others, complaining about others constantly, blaming, complaining. I hate my life, feeling unseen, feeling lonely, feeling helpless, feeling hopeless. Saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Feeling nervous, low self esteem, low confidence,
fear, anxiety, I
Yeah,
suppose.
like panic attacks. Nowadays, people get a lot of panic
Uh,
attacks.
yeah,
I was going to a friend's house. I thought I was going to die. I had to sit. The watchman had to give me the chair. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. It was,
right.
many people get.
So let's say you are going through it right now. So what do you do to, I mean, somebody with you who is going through this and you are trying to calm that person down. How
So,
can you help
firstly,
that person?
with paced breathing, slow. See, paced breathing can be different ways. It can be fast, can be medium, it can be slow.
Yeah, but that time
Pace
that person is saying, I can't breathe. So what do you do?
doesn't matter. Just
Okay,
close your eyes and breathe. Pace breathing. Pace
okay,
breathing. Pace breathing. Have a sip of cold water. I have rescue remedy, but please ask your doctor before you do that. And like they're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but I do five. I name five things. Name five. And then sound. I'll go to sound. You
right,
know, touch. Three things. Smell. Two things. Taste. One thing. By the time you come to smell, you're fine normally. Not always. And then, of course, there's medicine also. Some people, it's so bad that they have to have that medicine. That's why I say that, don't diss anything. And if you need to meet a doctor, see a doctor, see a doctor, please.
So basically, become aware of each and every sense and your
Yes, so
body.
you name five. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is for panic attacks. Name five things. The ceiling, the this, that. Then four, hear four sounds. Then three, touch three things. Two, smell one
Right,
thing. I
right. I
think
mean, we
we've gone
all
way
forget the
past.
basics, right?
Yes,
Yeah, we all forget the basics.
we all forget.
So, yeah. So it's your breathing, you're making people come back to the present, and you counsel them, right? So these are the basic things that you do as part of your life enhancement coaching,
Yeah, meditation.
meditation.
And of course, I do hypnosis, I do soul journeys, I do past life regressions.
Okay, okay.
I
Any
think
experience that you want to talk about in that
right
that
now,
very
I don't have any series happening right now,
okay?
but I basically wanted people to know that no matter how bad it is, you can't pull yourself out of that.
Yeah. So anyone who wants to get in touch with you, how would they want
They
to
can
get
just
in touch?
DM me.
They can DM you here
Yeah,
on Instagram
easiest.
and on Facebook,
Yes,
right?
easiest.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
think I put a number up somewhere, but best is DM me and we'll take it from there.
Right. Are there any questions? Has
I don't know.
anybody asked any?
Just see if there are any because I think we've gone way over.
How to deal with breakup? Somebody's asking.
Yes. So the first thing is you have to be very gentle with yourself, and it's the kindest thing you can go do if somebody wants to let go of you is to let go at that time, and then self-soothe. Then self-soothe, journal, meditate, walk, talk to somebody, talk to your friends, talk to a counselor, a therapist. Be very kind and gentle with yourself. Do not stalk the other person. Do not try and mess it up. Do not send 100 messages. Do not blame yourself. Please do not blame yourself.
Okay.
Just, you know,
Okay. So Rashmi is asking, how do you encourage someone else to seek help?
very gently and very kindly.
How?
Very gently and
Yes.
yeah, but you just have to be kind when you say that, look, I see that you're feeling down. Would you like to meet somebody?
Yeah.
I did that with a friend's son. I saw and he wasn't ready. And then one day, like 3 years later, he got ready and he saw somebody, but very gently.
Yeah, but normal response, I have seen around if one tells them, they say, "Oh, you think something is wrong with me?" All the defenses come up, right? How do you make them feel that it is not wrong to seek help? It is not that something is missing in them. There's nothing wrong, so-called wrong with them, if they seek help.
There's nothing wrong in health.
How
That's
do you
such a
how
taboo.
do you explain this to them? Is there any other way of encouraging somebody?
See, now look, there's so many people out there who talk openly about mental health. There's a Deepika, I'm talking about celebrity wise. There's a Robert Downey Jr., there's Shaheen Bhatt. There's so many people who openly talk. There's me. I'm not such a famous person, but openly talk about the benefits of looking after your mental health. Just like we
Right.
look after our body, we have to look after our mental health.
Right.
So the thing
Yeah, I know.
is, if it's a household person, nice to leave articles here and there. That's what I've done. I just used to
Okay.
leave articles here and there, and it did help.
Yeah, but many of them forget about reading articles. These days, everybody is forwarding on WhatsApp or on
Yeah. So there's
YouTube.
a
There
lot
is
of
so
lovely
much.
things.
If you start sending them all these goody things, do this, do that, they just don't want to know more. It's just okay. I know where this is going, so they will not even click on that link, or they will not. So that kind of resistance is there.
Yeah. So you just have to send a 15-second reel on something. Just be
Right.
very kind. You just be kind to them
Yeah,
and
actually,
pray.
kindness is the root of everything. So,
Kind and
hi,
pray.
Jojo. Good to see you here. So, I guess most of the people who must be coming to you must be talking about breakups.
Talking about?
Breakups.
Yeah.
There's, like somebody's asked earlier, and you mentioned how to one has to just let go, I suppose.
Yes. Somebody doesn't want you. Let go. Keep yourself open to so much more that the universe has to offer you. You are lovable. You will be loved. Just let
Do you
them go.
believe in affirmations, Nandini, in these
Yes,
cases?
yes, yes. I wake up every morning, look at myself and say, "You are amazing. I just love you." Yes, every morning. Tell yourself you're a success. Make vision boards. I have a vision board that's on my phone. I'm a success. I'm amazing. I love myself. Look at, but during that dark phase, I couldn't make no vision board, okay, or affirmation because that's
Yeah.
what other things.
Yeah, but don't you think when people are going through too darker phase, it's best to avoid even meditation at that time because you never know what's going on with their mind,
It depends
and
if they're on
resort
medication.
to something else.
If they're on medication, it
Okay.
depends. Then they shouldn't. But you can do breath work. You can
Okay.
do
Yes, I think the breath
that
works is what makes difference.
box breath work. Uh, you can do like a 1 minute listening to the rain. There are many things you can do. You don't have to get into deep vipassana. You don't have
Yeah.
to get into a deep kriya. But you can do like ऊपर ऊपर से बहुत सारे चीजें कर सकते हैं. You can do अनुलोम विलोम.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you
So
can.
what do you think,
What's
Nandini?
very
Your
good is like tapping, tapping.
ah.
You can do all that. Tuck, 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 tuck. I've done it, but I'm going to continue doing it. I'm going to continue dining it in because it's needed. Our question.
Okay. Bye, Rashmi. Good to see you here. Um,
Okay.
So
Anything
yeah,
else?
these kind of things. These are the very basics like breathing, senses, touch, tapping yourself.
Yeah.
I suppose massages, exercise, walks.
Yes.
So coming back to all basics, good sleep, good diet. These are the basics that I have learned from you, from what I've gathered from our talk today, Nandini.
Yes. Yes.
I think you've been most helpful all throughout, and this has been lovely. And I hope to keep seeing your videos and keep learning
Yes.
on Instagram also.
Thank you
And may
so
you
much.
continue with this journey. Yeah.
Thank you, Gayatri. And once again, a big shout out to all of you who've been there for me. Really love you guys. And thank you, Gayatri. Big shout out to you for this as well. And in September or August, September, October, we'll do another interview with you and
Sure,
Prerna.
sure, sure. Always a pleasure, Nandini.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
Big,
Big hug.
big hug. Love you. Bye.
How do I get out? You will be disconnecting, or
Yes,
should I
yes.
close the
I'm
meeting?
disconnecting. Bye.
Bye.